However, that wasn't the point. The point was we went to the Supreme Court.
That's
They're
right.
going to hear our argument.
That's right.
It was still exciting being in the Supreme Court. I was
Big
really
place, Byzantine kind of.
But like only 40 people allowed, and only enough seats for 40 guests. I felt this is really great,
Well,
and a huge massing and so friendly. You just leave your cell phone, your water outside, and everybody's nice. I bet there'd be a whole security cordon in the U.S. You'd have to run a gauntlet of metal. There wasn't even a metal detector.
Well, there was.
There was for you.
Yeah, I had to go in the other way because if you're going to get next to the judges, they say, okay, if you're back here in the seats, then that's all right.
I'm only 30 feet away from the judge with a gun. Canada is so cool. At our Supreme Court, they don't even have metal detectors.
They're not as paranoid because
the only thing you can't take your cell phone in, and you can't take your bottle of water. There's no drinking and eating in the Supreme Court.
They're not afraid of us because they make pretty good decisions and they're confident in them.
I was just totally impressed that anybody can sit down there with those 9 justices and listen to it go on.
I was told that they smiled when I approached, so I didn't turn them off or make them feel upset that I was there.
It's been a great year for activists in Canada.
We'll be back next year to legalize the weed, I tell you.
Less happy in the United States, and 2003 has some fabulous stuff coming up. Supreme Court cases, House of Commons got to come up with new legislation.
That's right.
We could even have legal marijuana in Canada as early as next week because a judge in Ontario is going to rule if the marijuana laws are even still legal.
You never know.
Because somebody's making a claim, we've always wanted to make it, that the government hasn't followed through on what they were ordered to provide 2 years ago after a medical marijuana Terry Parker's decision. The court ordered the federal government to either come up with good medical marijuana rules or pot's going to be legal automatically. A lawyer is going before a court saying it should be legal right now. The government didn't follow through. A judge is going to rule on it. They've stopped prosecuting all marijuana offenses in Ontario as a result of this. And and we're also, our lawyers are saying that no marijuana cases should go forward until the Supreme Court rules in May.
I have a prediction. I see menus by the end of 2003 all across Canada. Menus with hashish and cannabis, foreign and domestic, organic, hydroponic, organic grown in soil of all various consistencies.
We are opening another marijuana shop this year. You and I and the crew, we're going to start.
Watch for that.
Yeah, because I'm tired of sending people over to the drug dealers on the downtown east side here. So we're going to open our own marijuana place.
Keep your eyes and ears peeled for the grand opening half-price bud sale.
And a last moment plug for Tommy Morgan.
Oh yeah,
who's gone through some blue dark times. Is now on the cover of Heads magazine, which comes out, January 2nd?
He's a pot star.
Yeah, we never really promote other magazines, though Heads is not a bad magazine, actually.
Yeah, actually,
They're
Heads
not like
been
High
doing
Times,
good.
which are evil. And
well, they don't sell, do they sell fake buds?
No, they don't. Well, they might, but Heads is a difficult time of it, whereas High Times just ought to know better. But but Heads has our pot TV celebrity Tommy Morgan on the front cover. He's happy. That's good because he lost his girlfriend, he lost his job when they found out he was on pot TV, and he lives in Oklahoma, and that sucks to begin with, right? So that's the harshest laws in the nation.
It's hard to be a pot activist in the U.S., and maybe we should say a nice word about High Times too, if we can.
Is there a nice word to say?
There is one.
Okay.
And I'd like to applaud them for finally putting in seed catalogs in their magazine so you can actually order real pot as well as the fake pot. I'd like to say it's hard being a pot activist in the U.S. and the little bits of dignity that you do manage to scrounge up, we applaud you.
I bet they wouldn't take my end.
Well, you never know.
I'll tell you one more thing.
Yeah.
We've got to say, we usually should do obituaries. People who died. Ian Hunter died in the past year. And Ian was a great guy. My first employee, helped me pick out the original Hemp BC location, was my first guy. Helped him build his store, Sacred Herb, and died in a boating accident up in a happy time for him, though. Not a sad time for him. He went when things were looking good for him, but he was a real catapult to the marijuana legalization movement in the Lower Mainland, and Ian will be missed.
Yeah, he's kind of like.
But we're working on his behalf, and so life goes forward.
Died with a smile on his face.
Just like Lord of the Rings, the road goes ever on, and we'll see you on the next show.
And
here on Pot TV.
We will destroy that ring of power with you here on Pot.